Alright, welcome back to the Wrestling Rundown. It's that time where we take a step back away from the mainstream WWE wrestling and we give love to those independent wrestlers working their asses off to give us a little different taste of the world of wrestling. This is Indy News. We're going to start off with some results. Kevin Hawk is going to run us through the results from Your Eyes Only from Chikara.
Yeah, so we had the event for Your Eyes Only coming to us from South Windsor, Connecticut. And we started off with a four-way elimination tag team match. We had
the mystery match usually.
Yeah, they released the last two participants out at the very last minute.
Yeah.
But we had the Batiri versus the Devastation Corporation versus the Block Party versus Jervis Cottonbelly and Ashley Remington. With the Proletariat Boar of Moldova would spear Jervis Cottonbelly, eliminating his team.
Ugh.
The Batiri would then hit the Proletariat Boar's partner, Parakish Sabar, with a double team move, eliminating the Block Party from the four-way match. And finally, the Devastation Corporation, much to your chagrin, would hit the death blow on Kodama, giving them their third point of contention towards the Campeones de Parejas.
Now they get to face 3.0. They better lose.
No, the throwbacks.
Oh, that's right.
Or 3.0. The winner of the throwbacks versus 3.0 from
That's what I was getting at, and you interrupted me.
Alright, then we had a one-on-one match. First time ever meeting between Worker Ant and Hollow Wicked.
This was, when this match came out, it was very strange. It was like, kind of threw me. It's not what I would have expected, but...
Yeah,
excited to see it, though.
Hollow Wicked wins with a roll-up.
Really?
Yeah. And post-match, very respectful between the two of them, Soldier Ant would come out and hit a chop block on Worker Ant, who's been dealing with knee problems this entire season.
What a douche nozzle.
And then they would leave. Next up, we would have Noken versus Shinron. And Noken would have the BDK, as it is now formed. With him, it would be Jakob Hammermeyer and Milo Schnitzler and Slash.
No, Hack.
Hack.
Yes, Slash is one we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah.
It was Hack.
And I guess it makes sense because Jakob was Dr. Cube, Hack and Slash are Dr. Cube's guys.
Okay. That makes sense.
You know, Milo Schnitzler does the Jakob introductions for the BDK.
He's essentially taken the Jakob role.
Yeah. Shinron did a dive over the top rope, hits all the BDK guys, knocks them down, gets in the ring, referee gets distracted. Jakob hits the knockout punch on Shinron, allowing Noken to get the win.
Bullshit.
Milo Schnitzler and Hack get in the ring. They start picking on Milo Schnitzler, and then Hack unmasks himself, revealing himself to be former BDK member Pinky Sanchez.
Holy shit.
He would then hit Milo Schnitzler with the Death Valley Driver, and they kicked him. They kicked Mini Aries out of the BDK.
So essentially right now the BDK is Noken, Jakob, and Pinky Sanchez.
Yes.
I feel like we're reforming...
The original BDK, sort of.
No, yeah, Noken is like the new Tursus.
Mm-hmm.
And we got, yeah, that's cool.
Delirious teamed with them.
Yeah.
A couple of shows ago.
Yeah. Which I called.
Yeah. Then we would have an appearance from Jimmy Jacobs, and he would be wearing an outfit that sported likenesses to the masks of the Thunder Frog and Threequinox and Creator Wrestler and Cobalt.
That's messed up, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Not cool.
And he would come out and start talking trash about Chikara. This would lead to Icarus coming out. And when Icarus came out, the rest of the Flood locker room would fill up the ring. And when that happened, the rest of the Chikara roster came up and backed up Icarus. And then Icarus basically laid out the biggest challenge this year so far in Chikara, that he wants to face one-on-one Deucalion.
Oh shit.
At Tomorrow Never Dies.
Oh shit.
And then everybody clears the ring. They do intermission. When we come back from intermission, we get a tag team match. The Osirian Portal versus their Wrecking Crew, Jaka and Oleg. Osirian Portal win.
Yes!
They get their revenge.
Yes!
And that makes that guy very happy.
Yes!
If he knew how to say yes in Egyptian, he would be doing that instead.
Yes in Egyptian!
And then we get the announcement post-match that Delirious, who is scheduled to take on Frightmare, is not in the building. This is very interesting, knowing that also the previous weekend he didn't show up for night 2 of
Survival of the Fittest.
Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah, he did his tournament match and then didn't show up for the rest of it.
So some disappointment there for some fans. Specifically Chastity Dubrico, who is Delirious's #1 fan.
I don't know who you are.
That's a shout out. I hope you watch this. Then we have the squash match of the night. The War King Eddie Kingston takes on the Snow Troll, who had Volgar and Jimmy Jacobs in his corner.
Snow Troll totally won.
No, Backfist of the Future ended Snow Troll. For the match, at least. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Jimmy Jacobs and Eddie Kingston would start brawling. And Jimmy Jacobs would hit his signature spear on Eddie Kingston. And Ultramantis Black would come out and make the save.
Oh, shit.
Fight off Volgar and start fighting off Jimmy Jacobs, which would lead directly into the one-on-one match as advertised, Ultramantis versus Jimmy Jacobs.
Ooh.
And then they would fight and stuff, and towards the end of the match, Ultramantis hits off the ropes, and Snow Troll actually trips Ultramantis with his chain, allowing Jimmy Jacobs to come in and hit the spear, get the 1, 2, 3.
He's such a troll.
I think that means Jimmy Jacobs now has 3 points.
Oh, shit.
Or 2, no, Jimmy Jacobs now has 2 points. Eddie Kingston has 2 points after his win over Snow Troll.
Right, okay, yeah.
Post-match, something would start going on, some sort of Chikara fanfare thing. Juan Francisco de Coronado would come out, interrupting. He wasn't scheduled to be on the card, but he comes out and blah, 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 I'm the best in the world, or whatever. Frightmare would come out and basically shut up Juan Francisco de Coronado, and they would start an impromptu one-on-one match. Juan Francisco taking Delirious's place as Frightmare's opponent. Then they would go one-on-one. Juan Francisco wins with a German suplex and feet on the ropes.
Okay.
But Bryce overturns the decision when he found out that he had the feet on the ropes. And while Juan Francisco is arguing with Bryce, Frightmare rolls him up and gets a 1, 2, 3. Frightmare is your winner.
Aha! Good job, Frightmare.
And then we have the main event Campeonatos de Parejas on the line. It is the Throwbacks defending against Scott Parker and Shane Matthews 3.0. The Canadian boys back trying to become the first ever 3-time Chikara Tag Team Champions.
That's impressive.
Yep. Unfortunately, though, for 3.0, they would lose to the Throwbacks in 2 consecutive falls.
A la Ziggler and Cesaro from Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and 2 consecutive falls in a 2 out of 3 falls match in general doesn't happen very often, and especially not in Chikara. I think that's the 2nd time ever.
Wow.
Possibly that it was taken 2 straight falls.
That's impressive.
Something like that. It's the first time since Cesaro and Aries were the tag team champions as the leaders of the BDK.
That's right.
So that's your results for Your Eyes Only. I'm going to toss it back over to Travis Colt. He's going to give you the results for Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground is quickly becoming one of my new favorite shows. I look forward to every Wednesday being able to watch it. It's on the El Rey Network. And this week, we had, we opened up with Sexy Star. She calls out Chavo, letting him know that, hey, I've seen what you did to Blue Demon. I saw what you did last week to Masquerade Sagrada, and I don't appreciate it. And
the whole promo was in Spanish, subtitled in English.
I'm gonna be the one to destroy the Guerrero dynasty.
But she got interrupted by...
She got interrupted by Ivelisse.
Hot chick.
Who is not speaking Spanish. And she pretty much told Sexy Star to shut her mouth, or she was going to shut it for her. And we had a one-on-one women's match to open up Lucha Underground. I don't think the chemistry was fully there. It was a little sloppy at times, but it was overall a really good match.
And overall full of hot.
We had Sexy Star defeat Ivelisse with a varied Magistral Cradle, which you were quite excited to see. So, you know, Ivelisse, who was teaming with Son of Havoc, who was kind of Sexy Star's first, like, little rival for the first couple episodes of Lucha Underground. So there's still a little bit of tension.
There's a connection going on from the first episode.
Yeah. So, a win for Sexy Star. I'm definitely looking forward to more from both these girls.
Me too.
Not only are they hot, but they're impressive. We get a little backstage segment where Dario Cueto is talking to Drago. Says, you know, I expected more. You know, you didn't win, or you didn't lose last week, but you also didn't win. So I'm going to give you a chance tonight to see what you're really made of, and you'll be the first opponent taking on a brand new luchador named King Cuerno. So we'll have to. It says you'll be facing off against the savagery that is King Cuerno. In our next match, we would get the two people that were involved in the decision in that triple threat match last week. Pentagon Jr. would talk about how he doesn't get enough respect, and after he defeats Phoenix tonight, everyone will have to respect him, and he'll do the same to anyone else who challenges him. We had an awesome one-on-one match.
These guys were fantastic.
Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., a phenomenal match. I mean, if you saw the triple threat match last week, it was amazing. This singles match was just as good. Phoenix would defeat Pentagon Jr. with a Spanish fly off the top rope. Just overall, just amazing lucha action. This is why it's one of my favorite shows. Then we would get our first look at King Cuerno, he's a hunter almost. He's got a deer head kind of headdress thing going on.
Yeah, it was a weird vignette.
Yeah, it was interesting. We get the match between him and Drago. It was good. King Cuerno's definitely taking the heel role in this.
Drago's got a really long tongue,
yeah,
by the way. Snake tongue.
It's weird. Drago would get the win over King Cuerno with a real fancy pin.
Some sort of crazy fancy roll-up thing.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It was just... You clapped.
I was impressed. It happened so fast.
A lot of the action in this match did. A lot of the action on these cards do. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
You need to watch Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Do it now. Well, not right now, because it's not on.
Well, don't do it right now, because you're watching us.
Yeah, watch us first. Yeah, so Drago gets the win, so maybe he impressed Dario Cueto now.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we get from later matches involving King Cuerno. But up next we had Conan telling Puma, you know, we know the main event tonight is Big Rick taking on Johnny Mundo. He asked for the match last week against Dario Cueto. Conan tells Puma not to get involved in the match at all. There's no reason for you to get involved. Just stay back. Just whatever happens, let it happen. So we get Big Rick versus Johnny Mundo. Johnny Mundo told Dario Cueto, you want violence? Well, you're going to get violence. It was a very physical match. Johnny Mundo was getting a lot of his little flashy moves off.
It was very the David and Goliath, like, little guy walks up and kicks the big guy in the legs. Big guy reaches and grabs, he ducks under, kicks him in the legs some more, kind of thing. That's a good portion of the match was very stick and move for Johnny Mundo.
Yeah.
Very,
and it's fun watching him, use the parkour moves to his advantage and whatnot. So during the match, we get a little quick flash to the back where Prince Puma gets attacked by Cortez and Cisco in the locker room, just ultimately
everywhere.
Just destroying him in the back. They run out. They help Big Rick beat down Johnny Mundo. So Johnny Mundo wins by disqualification.
But Big Rick gives him the Uranagi suplex into the table.
Yeah, the pre-cut table.
The table that, when Mundo went through it, broke perfectly in half.
Yeah. It was a pretty straight cut. So
Johnny Mundo is really sharp.
So
right through
this
it.
wasn't the
Hot knife through
greatest
butter.
end to a Lucha Underground show, but the show itself.
But it was a decent SmackDown mid-card match.
Absolutely. Which I guess is now a main event for Lucha Underground. But I'm hoping we get more of Drago, Phoenix, Pentagon Jr., King Cuerno. I want more of this stuff.
We're gonna have to give those guys times to build up, because they're obviously gonna put former WWE superstars first.
Yeah.
Because they're the names that are gonna draw all the American viewers.
Absolutely.
Oh no, we saw these guys on Raw and SmackDown! Yay! That big black guy, the better son Big Show. Woo!
He was part of the core.
The 2 R's. Keith Sager can't spell.
That was it for Lucha Underground this week. Still a fun show.
It's always fun.
I think what I really love about Lucha Underground is we're starting from the beginning. It's something that I'm learning from the beginning.
It's a new thing.
I'm not jumping in the middle of it. I'm not trying to get caught up. I'm watching it unfold, which is awesome.
Well, and I like the way it is unfolding is just so movie-esque.
Yeah.
That even like WWE, when
it's a weekly wrestling movie.
When you get like the WWE promo segments, like backstage and in front of the audience, you're kind of like, another promo. Yeah. But these guys, it's so like cinematic.
Yeah.
That it makes you go, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah. It's not just two guys and a camera. They add the graininess.
There's backgrounds and there's props and there's stuff being used.
Yeah.
It's in the office and it's dark and dingy and Cuerto's obviously the evil mastermind. Conan's old and flabby, and Prince Puma's working out on one of those ab lifter machines.
Yeah. No, still a good show. I love this. I'm so excited for more.
But you're not done yet. You've got Ring of Honor.
I do. Tag Wars. Just
Holy
this
cow.
weekend, November 22nd, was Tag Wars. A little quick shout out. I got all these results from Nick Paglino from WrestleZone.com. Thank you very much for posting the card for the show.
Keep doing that so we can keep getting results.
Yeah.
Some of the results are hard to find.
Yes, they are. Especially right when the show is over. So our first 3 matches were the qualifiers to go to the main event and face Red Dragon for the ROH Tag Team Championship.
Or Re-Dragon, as I call them.
Or Red Dragon.
Re-Dragon.
Or Re-Dr. Agon. Whatever.
Oh, I like that one. Red Dr. Agon.
No, Re-Dr. Agon.
Re-Dr. Agon. What's up, Re-Dr. Agon? Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Re-Dr. Agon.
So in our first 3 matches, we had the Briscoes defeat the House of Truth, Jay Lethal and Jay Diesel. We had the Addiction defeat the Decade, which was Jimmy Jacobs and BJ Whitmer. And we had Matt Sydal and ACH defeat the Young Bucks. All 3 of those teams moving on to face.
I'm excited to go
Dr.
back.
Agon.
I'm excited to go back and watch ACH and Matt Sydal versus the Young Bucks.
Hell yeah, dude! When I saw that was going to be a match, like
my eyes went.
But quick close them because they might fall out of your head. There you go.
Don't fall out of my head.
So moving on to some singles action that happened before we got our main event. We had Roderick Strong defeat a guy named Papadon. Do you know who Papadon is?
What's his name?
His name's Papadon.
That's not his full name though. He's on one of my other cards over here actually.
Really? I had never heard of him.
Dimitri Papadon.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
He's lying.
Demetrius Papadon.
Demetrius Papadon. Okay.
Is his name.
But he was defeated by Roderick Strong.
He's another East Coast guy.
Gotcha. Then we had a match that I was not aware was happening. This was actually wrestled to a no contest. Michael Elgin versus Hanson.
Ooh, ouch.
Wrestled to a no contest after Elgin delivered a Tiger Driver to Hanson off the apron.
I felt like Roderick Strong was supposed to go against somebody else.
Maybe. I don't really remember who he was set to face. Apparently this match, the way it ended, because these are 2 huge dudes that are just beating the shit out of each other. There was a lot of action that was obviously intense. So people were really confused as to why the Tiger Driver off the apron was the cause for the no contest. So a little bit of confusion, but people were still impressed with the match, which you really can't not be impressed with Hanson and Michael Elgin.
2 big scary dudes.
Absolutely. We had a tag team match that I didn't hear about. This must have been something new that they added to the show. Caprice Coleman and Will Ferrara defeated Brutal Burgers.
Brutal
Bob Evans
and Cheeseburger. Yep. Which I would just call them Bob's Burgers, but
I know. But apparently their tag team name is Brutal Burgers.
Yeah, these guys have been kind of a jobber tag team hopping around Ring of Honor for a while.
Cheeseburger is just so tiny.
Yeah, he's like the Steve Urkel of wrestling.
Yeah.
Not the Jaleel White of wrestling, because Jaleel White's big now. Like, he's buff now.
Then we had our no DQ match. We had Tommaso Ciampa defeat Cedric Alexander. This actually was talked about as probably the best match of the night. It wowed the audience because the audience has seen, an ROH audience has seen
a lot
violence. They've seen a lot of aggressive things, but apparently this just wowed the crowd and they were super excited for it.
That's good. I might want to watch it. Tommaso Ciampa's one of my least wowy guys.
I like Tommaso Ciampa. I watched him versus Michael Elgin on ROH TV a couple weeks ago. And
that match was good.
Beat the fuck out of each other. It was great. We had Moose defeat a local wrestler. He continued his little heel thing after turning on R.D. Evans back at Survival of the Fittest. Did some in-ring work with Ramon and Prince Nana, just kind of putting over their little group now. Adam Cole defeated Brian Kendrick.
Ooh, that's the one I was waiting for.
I'm sure that was an exciting match. I definitely want to see it.
Adam Cole has just been doing lots of big things this year.
It is the year of Adam Cole, man.
Adam Cole and Ricochet.
That it is. And then for our main event, we had the Four Corners Tag Team Elimination match. We had Dr. Agon taking on the Briscoes, The Addiction, and Matt Sydal and ACH. And in succession, we had Dr. Agon eliminate the Briscoes. We had Matt Sydal and ACH eliminate The Addiction.
Ooh.
And then ultimately, Red Dragon retained the ROH Tag Team Champions by defeating Matt Sydal and ACH.
Ooh.
So they will be moving on to Final Battle.
As the Tag Team Champions.
As Tag Team Champions. They are still the IWGP Tag Team Champions as well. So we'll have to see if that plays into their match.
IWGP, I'll give you 5 points right now if you can tell me what that stands for.
IWGP? International Wrestling Grand Prix?
Yes.
Yeah! Totally off the... Oh, man. Hell yeah. All right.
I was really hoping you were going to say something like International Waffles, good people.
I was really trying to get those points, man.
That was really well done.
Thank you. But that is it for the results I have. We're going to move on to some upcoming shows.
Upcoming events in probably not our neck of the woods. Never in our neck of the woods.
No, we're on the West Coast. We don't get all the good shit.
We get PWG if we feel like driving down to Southern California.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah, one of these days.
Yeah.
So we got 2 shows this upcoming weekend.
Oh.
We have, if you're in the Midwest, we're going to start November 28th, next Friday or Saturday?
Friday.
Yes, it's Black Friday.
Yes.
I think. Is AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling's Hell on Earth 10. I've been counting this one.
Oh yeah, we've been talking about this for a couple weeks. Yeah.
The 3 matches that I've been announcing the last couple of weeks, we have the EC3 taking on Johnny Gargano, Marion Fontaine going against Rockstar Spud, and Alex Shelley taking on Josh Prohibition. We've added now Eric Ryan is going to be going against Chris Sabin.
Ooh.
Dick Justice is leading his team, the League of Justice, in an 8-man tag match against Greg Irons' Iron Curtain.
That sounds like a match that Thomas Wolfe would love.
Yes.
Just because the League of Justice and the Iron Curtain sounds like a heel, like a supervillain team.
Yes. Nasty Russ Myers is going to be taking on Jimmy Jacobs. Ethan Page is going to be going in a dog collar match. Right? Right one, yeah. Dog collar match against Eddie Kingston.
I'm sorry.
I feel bad for Ethan Page. And Ethan Page is kind of a pretty boy looking dude, too.
He ain't going to be pretty after this match.
Yeah, I've only seen a handful of his matches. He did Chikara's Young Lions a couple years back.
Well.
And then we got some title matches on the line. The Absolute Intense Wrestling has 2 championships. They have the Intense Championship, which is going to be defended in a 6-way scramble match. Davey Vega is defending against Joshua Singh, Alex Daniels, Flip Kendrick, Lewis Linden, and Veda Scott.
Wow.
And then the absolute title, Tim Donst is defending against Tyson Dux, Josh Alexander, and Ricky Shane Page in a Falls Count Anywhere, 1 fall to a finish match.
That's going to be...
So figure out that you could take 2 of the guys could go over on the opposite side of the arena and have a pinfall where the other 2 guys can't even get to it in time to break it up.
Or you have 2 guys going for a pinfall, or they're just fighting off, and these 2 are in a submission over here.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of chances for...
That's insanity right there.
You know, the champion to be even at a more disadvantage than he would be in a regular Fatal 4-Way match.
That's scary.
Because you could literally fight, lock him out of the room, and pin the guy right in front of the door.
Huh.
You know, falls count anywhere, and it's a 1 fall to a finish.
As long as he got the referee and they had a pin.
Yeah. At the next day, we're gonna go from Absolute Test Wrestling is Cleveland based. We're gonna go over to Chicago for AAW's Windy City Classic. Which is on the 29th. They're 2 of their top tag teams, Zero Gravity and the Hooligans, are going to be going... Or no, it's not going to be in Chicago, but the Chicago-based AAW. This show's in Berwyn, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
A Berwyn City street fight between the Hooligans and Zero Gravity. Not the Hooligans, Ryan Kendrick and Paul London, but 2 bald, beardy guys that look a lot like they're a knockoff of the Highlanders.
They look like hooligans.
Johnny Gargano's going against Matt Cage. A lot of people are voting that that's going to be the match of the night. Shane Hollister is going to go against Lewis Linden. Jimmy Jacobs is going against Alex Shelley. That's one I'm excited about.
That'll be a good one.
The American Wolves are going to be going against Ethan Page and Josh Alexander. The day after Ethan Page is in that dog collar match with Eddie Kingston.
Well, the Wolves are going to win that one.
The AAW Heritage title is on the line. Christian Faith defends it against Merrick Brave. And in the AAW Championship match, Keith Walker is going to attempt to win the AAW Championship from Eddie Kingston.
Good luck, son.
That's this weekend. We got a lot of upcoming events in the coming weeks. We have Ring of Honor's Final Battle.
Yes, we do. Final Battle, which will be on December 7th in New York City in a building called Terminal 5.
Ooh, sounds like an airport.
Maybe. Are they wrestling at the airport?
That'd be neat.
Yeah, we got a couple of matches set up. The full card isn't set in stone yet, but we do have 4 matches. In singles action, we have Roderick Strong taking on Adam Page. And then we've got 3 title matches already set for this coming show.
I'm
excited.
excited.
We have Jay Lethal defending the TV title against Matt Sydal. We have Red Dragon defending the ROH Tag Team Championships against Alex Shelley and Kushida, the Time Splitters. So that's gonna
it's got my attention.
That's gonna be a hell of a tag team match. And then in the main event, we have Jay Briscoe defending the ROH Championship against the 2014 Survival of the Fittest winner, Adam Cole, in a fight without honor.
That's going to be violent.
Very.
Just saying.
There's gonna be blood. It's not gonna be pretty. But that is
what day is that?
That is December 7th.
All right.
Sunday.
Sticking with December and violence. December 13th, 2014. 12-13-14. We're going to have Cage of Death 16.
Ah, they skipped to 15.
I know, right? Combat Zone Wrestling, you missed out on something cool. Could have been 12, 13, 14, 15, but it's now 16.
Almost 15 letters in Cage of Death. It was 11.
Wow.
So close.
But we got more matches announced. We had a couple matches announced last week.
Yes.
They've added more. We're going to have Devin Moore and Lucky 13 taking on Demetrius Papadon and Pepper Parks in a tag team match. We have a qualifier for the upcoming Best of the Best tournament. That's one of Combat Zone's yearly tournaments, where it's not focused on the violent side of Combat Zone Wrestling, but the wrestling side.
Hey. Everybody loves wrestling.
Yeah, and that's going to be Caleb Conley, Alex Cullen, Jonathan Gresham, Speedball Mike Bailey, The Product David Starr, and AR Fox. in a 6-way scramble match
I know.
to qualify for that tournament.
I know 2 of those guys.
Yeah. Speedball Mike Bailey was actually one of the guys that was an answer to one of our earliest questions of most underrated people.
I do remember that. I recognize the name, but I know I've never seen him wrestle. But I knew Jonathan Gresham and A.R. Fox.
Alexander James is going to go one-on-one with Rich Swann. We still have that grudge match. DJ Hyde, the owner of CCW, versus Big Daddy Chris Dickinson. We have my new favorite match title of all time. It was last week the Ultraviolent Food Fight.
Mm-hmm.
It is now the Norman Smiley Bunkhouse Brawl. It's Norman Smiley Memorial Bunkhouse Brawl Ultraviolent Food Fight of Life or Death.
For the record, Norman Smiley is not dead. He's still alive.
There's memorializing him anyways.
He is still... he's actually a trainer at the Performance Center.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
I don't doubt it. Greg Excellent and a partner of his choosing.
He trained Paige, actually.
Ooh. And is going to go against Matt Tremont and a partner of his choosing. The CCW Wire Championships on the line. Shane Strickland defends against Chainsaw Joe Casey. And the Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship is going to be decided in Cage of Death. A 4-way dance. Sozio defends against Biff Busick, Drew Gulak, and Black G's.
Wow.
Yep.
That sounds violent.
I'm going to give my annotation of the week to Team Cash versus Team Blackout, Combat Zone Wrestling Cage of Death, where Chris Cash does his cash driver, or whatever he called it, off the top of the cage to Black G's through a bunch of tables on the outside.
All right. Well, look for that annotation somewhere.
Somewhere in one of the videos.
Maybe it's right here.
Wow. Is that an annotation? Is that what an annotation looks like?
Might be. No. Don't eat the annotation.
Oh, I'm hungry. No, I'm not. And then the day before that, we've got another show that we've been touting for quite a few weeks in a row now. PWG's Black Coal Sun, 12-12. We got the 4-way dance, Biff Busick, Brian Cage, Uhaa Nation, and Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, the scary Fatal 4-way.
Yeah, Bobby Fish versus Roderick Strong. The 6-man tag match, Johnny Gargano, Chuck Taylor, and Trent versus A.R. Fox, Rich Swann, and ACH.
Amazing.
Cedric Alexander versus Adam Cole. The tag team dream match between Chris Sabin and Matt Sydal versus the Young Bucks. Chris Hero versus Trevor Lee. The World's Cutest Tag Team versus The Addiction for the PWG Tag Team Championships. And the PWG Championship on the line. Kyle O'Reilly defending against Ricochet.
Wow. That I want to see that. That's going to be a good show.
Yeah. On top of that, we've got December 5th. Shine, event number 23. No matches yet to be named, but we know that the Shine champion, Ivelisse, is going to be there. The tag team champions of, they call it the Legendary, or the Legends, or something like that. It's Malia Hosaka and Brandy Wine, who are managed by former WWE Women's Champion, Leilani Kai.
Interesting.
We got the Kimber Bombs are going to be there, Princess Kimberly and Cherry Bomb. The Buddy System, which is Heidi Lovelace and Sojo Bolt with Daphne, Leah Von Dutch, Thunder Kitty, Amber O'Neil, and it's going to be the Shine debut of Vanessa Craven.
Wow.
So lots of stuff going on, and that's not even like all the people that are listed to be there. That's just, like, I got tired of writing.
That just means there's going to be a lot of people there.
And last but not least, definitely not least, because this is one of our favorite promotions to cover ever. And we're going to have the poster for this in next week.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow Never Dies. Live
Chikara.
on iPay-per-view. It's the big finale. And it's going to be in Philadelphia, PA on the 6th. In the 2300 Arena, formerly known as the ECW Arena. And we have 6 matches signed so far.
Wow. All right.
This is a big deal thing, and we know there's probably going to be more to come.
Oh, definitely.
But we're going to start off with the rubber match. Remington Coronado 3. Both these guys hold one victory over the other. Who's got the better German suplex? Who offers the better fruit basket? Probably Remington because he doesn't hit you with it.
Yeah.
And then we have the match I'm really, really looking forward to, the Torneo Cibernetico match. The 8 versus 8.
Yeah, this one's interesting.
Yeah, what do they call it? The 8 versus 8 tag team something or other match. It's got a really specific set of rules. I think I've explained it in one of the earliest videos.
Yeah, if you go back to
I think it was like first ever 5 matches not to miss.
Yeah, go back to our 5 matches not to miss, the Chikara edition, where we talk about one of the Cyberneticos, and Kevin Hawk does go through all
some of the longest Cibernetico match went about an hour and 45 minutes.
We watched it.
Yeah. It's an insane thing. And to think now, there's no telling how long a Cibernetico goes. And this is the first time a Cibernetico is going to be on live pay-per-view. There's no telling how long this is going to go.
They could go on for, well, not forever. But
Chikara, they could add like an hour and a half onto Chikara's pay-per-view.
If they wanted to.
And more important-y stuff, I guess it's 5 matches, not 6. Cibernetico's like 8 matches in one, so.
Yeah, that's a lot of dudes. But
oh yeah, the team captains have been announced for the Cibernetico.
This is what I thought was interesting.
Team Chikara is going to be teamed with the guy who's kind of coming out to be the new MVP of Chikara, because he was originally a member of the Kikido, who came in to destroy Chikara, and has now reverted his ways, and now he's part of the Colony, one of the most endeared teams in Chikara, and it's Worker Ant.
That threw me.
Yeah, is going to be leading the team. And you know, who there's a lot of people that haven't been put in matches yet, so you're going to be thinking he could have Fire Ant, Silver Ant 3.0, Chuck Taylor, the Batiri could be in it, Frightmare, Hollowicked, Ultramantis, any of these guys could be part of Team Chikara. And then on the other side we have Team Flood, which is being led by Jacob Hammermeyer. They both start with J.
Jimmy Yakum.
Yeah, they both start with J, just Jacobs is silent. I looked down, I saw J.
It looks like, well, Tim Jones called him Jacob.
Yeah. So. And we got him leading the Flood, and so, you know, you've got guys on the Flood. You've got Nokin, Pinky Sanchez.
Pinky Sanchez, I'm sure, will probably be him and Nokin will probably be the first 2 named as part of the team.
My guess is Soldier Ant is going to be on Team Flood because of his attack on Worker Ant.
Snow Troll,
Volgar, Sin Bodhi, Kefka the Quiet, Oliver Grimsley,
Jaka and Oleg,
Flex Rumble Crunch. There's a lot of guys that could be on Team Flood. So it'll be interesting to see who gets picked.
Yeah.
And right now, from what we're being told, is that the teams are holding their cards very close to their chest. And we might not even get teams revealed until night of the show.
That would actually be exciting. I would actually like that, just to keep the suspense.
And then we have guys who are not wasting their time cashing in their title shots. The Devastation Corporation is going to go against the Throwbacks for the Campeonatos de Parejas in a 2 out of 3 falls match. These guys have just won their 3rd point in the last show. Not wasting any time. The Throwbacks are nervous. Dasher and Mr. Touchdown have been in multiple trios and 4-man matches recently in the last couple months over and over again with teams that involve also the Devastation Corporation. And it's been on 2 different occasions that the Devastation Corporation, one member or the other, has beaten a member of the Throwbacks to win those respective matches.
Well, the finals for King of Trios was the Devastation Corporation over
the Golden Trio. Yeah, so. And then we had the match with Golden Trio and Eddie Kingston.
Yes,
which was also won by the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
And so it seems like perhaps the Devastation Corporation has the number of the Throwbacks because they, not in tag team per se, but in multi-man matches, Devastation Corporation has been beating the Throwbacks. And then we have 2 guys who I'm fairly certain are both racked up 2 points towards contention of the Chikara Grand Championship, which is held by Icarus right now. Eddie Kingston versus Jimmy Jacobs.
That's going to be a good one.
That's going to be a great one. It's definitely a clash of styles, clash of sizes. And the winner will face Icarus sometime early next year for the Chikara Grand Championship. And finally, the main event. The challenge was laid out by Icarus to Deucalion. I want to match with you at Tomorrow Never Dies. And Deucalion accepts.
Scary.
One-on-one.
Scary. The
leader of the Flood versus the flag bearer of Chikara. Who knows, because we have yet to see Deucalion really do anything in a one-on-one scenario. But we do know that Icarus was the first man to drop Deucalion with his spear.
Oh.
So, what's going to happen? Also, I forgot to mention, we do have, from the promotion Wrestling is Fun, we're going to have the finals of the Young Lions Cup 11.
That's right.
Heidi Loveless versus Missile Assault Ant, who's going to go into next year as the Young Lions Cup champion. All that and more, guaranteed by Mr. Bryce Remsburg. He said more. So I'm going to say more. It's going to happen at Chikara. Tomorrow Never Dies, live on iPay-per-view. Order it now. Order other things now. Order DVDs now. I'm just notebook coming at you.
Oh.
Those are indie things that are happening. I'm wearing a fist gauntlet like it's a crown.
That is it for the indie news. All kinds of stuff. We're coming to the end of the year. A lot of promotions trying to put on their big shows. You know, trying to make...
Trying to put the Big Show on their big shows.
No. Big Show has Survivor Series. He's busy.
And probably TLC.
But yeah, a lot of great things coming up. It's the end of the year. They're trying to put all their chips out there, trying to make some memorable shows to end 2014 on. But we're gonna end the indie news, and up next we've got the midweek wrap up coming up, where we talk about Superstars, Main Event, and NXT. So we will see you at the midweek wrap up.